Hey guys, it's me again, and today I want to talk about the Railjack Revisited update, and there are good and bad things about it. Luckily, they're more good than bad this time, but let's just start out with the good things. So the first thing I noticed in this update was the health and armor of the fighters and the foot soldiers got cut in half. So the overall time to kill on enemies is a lot lower, and it kind of feels like all of your Railjack guns perform as if they have the crit avionics on them pre-patch. Everything except for the APOC, which kills twice as fast as it did previously. So overall, the Railjack gun meta is still the same, but there's just a larger gap between the APOC and everything else. But this change combined with the fighters spawning closer to you means that the average high-level Veil mission is much faster now. You can kill all the fighters in the mission in about like 2 minutes. Now this also means that arc guns are in a better spot right now. As far as the best arc gun goes, it's still the Singus, but it's not the best because of damage anymore. It's the best strictly because of ease of use, as the other arc guns are a lot more competitive now. But a lot of you guys were telling me how good the Imperator Vandal and the Velocitus is, and I'd still recommend you pick the Singus over the Imperator Vandal strictly because of its bullet velocity. Like the bullet velocity on the Imperator Vandal is extremely slow, so it's not very great when it comes to leading, and even if you slow them down, you still have to lead your shots. And the Velocitus is better now as it does one shot, and while the Velocitus is a solid pick, it also has a slow bullet velocity, as well as I just believe it will shine in other content, mainly Eidolons and Profit Taker. But instead, if you want something that one shots, I'd point you in the direction of the Corvus, as the Corvus also one shots, and it has a near hit scan like bullet velocity. At least that was until it and Seeker Volley got hit with an undocumented nerf. I've readjusted my Corvus build, and it still one shots. It just doesn't one shot the heavier units like the Flax, but the Singus is still the best because it's got a good bullet velocity and a good reload speed. On top of it, you should be full auto and not having to have a charge mechanic, so you don't have to farm for a shell rush on your arc gun. So overall, crit is now more viable for arc guns, but it's still not the best. And if you guys try to kill any of the level 110 fighters in Scarlet Spear, you guys know what I'm talking about. However, even though arc guns are in a better spot right now, arc melee is still garbage. The amount of status effects that can affect your Railjack has been greatly reduced to one of each type, which is so nice. This increases the survivability of your Railjack by a lot. And this change also includes ram sleds, so you can also be only affected by one ram sled at a time. But this change also means that the avionic fire suppression is not going to be as useful anymore. Because before it was just like a huge heal because like status effects could stack on top of each other on your Railjack. And if you cleared all those, you basically healed to full for your Railjack. But now, since only one status effect can affect you at a time, that's not the case anymore, so it doesn't heal you as much. The sentient ship no longer has downtime now, meaning it's a lot easier to grind for the Shidu, Air Quest, and whatever accessories Little Duck has, especially since I patched out all the glitches that made farming the sentient ship actually bearable. And depending on how you guys feel, I might make a solo farming guide for the sentient ship, so let me know if you guys would be interested in that. The other change that's really good is the titanium amounts have been increased by a lot. Like, I think you can get like anywhere from like 160 to 300 titanium per pickup, and titanium farming used to be a tedious slog, but now it's pretty easy. And in one run, you can get like 15,000 titanium. So titanium will never become a horrible grind for you guys. And that means you're going to be more incentivized to experiment with your weapon. So building wreckage that you find might not even be a bad thing anymore. Personally, I'd still recommend you go with the Sigma Mark IIIs as your first upgrade, especially because it's just clan research. And it is still cheaper than wreckage. But after that, it's going to be a lot less costly to upgrade your things. Especially with the new valence transfer system for your Railjack guns. Now, the way the valence transfer system works, if you don't have a Kuva weapon or you just don't know what it is, it's basically Destiny's fusion system, but unlike Destiny, the item you're fusing into your current item does not have to have higher stats. It can have lower stats. And I think it can even be a lower tier as long as there's the same type of item. So you can't fuse like Lav and Apox into Zekti Apox, but if you somehow got like a Zekti Mark 1 and you have a Zekti Mark 3, I think you can fuse those together, just not different brands basically. And on top of that, you don't have to actually build the other weapon that you want to fuse. It can just be the blueprint. And doing that costs like a fraction of what it would be to build it. So both those changes basically contribute to you using a lot less resources inside of Railjack. So with all that said, is Railjack good now? No. Railjack is less of a headache now, but it's still Railjack for the most part. There's still not a large incentive to do it outside of the Shido and faster Scarlet Spear credits. We still have issues with UI clues to certain features, like you being able to access your intrinsics from your orbiter. I didn't know this because I actually had a Railjack at launch, so there's no need for me to use it. We still don't have bonus stats still directly affecting the stat page of Wreckage. Archwing survivability is still garbage, so Amisha is still the only usable Archwing, though that's less of an issue because your Railjack is all around better now. And the worst of it all is there's nothing keeping people interested. Railjack still has a low amount of people playing it, and I feel like the only reason you're playing it is you just started Railjack and you're still grinding, or you're trying to get max rolls on every piece of gear like I am. So yes, the update has improved Railjack, but it's still not quite there yet, but we're getting close. But anyway guys, that was my 2 cents on Railjack. I want to thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.